That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high and made it through. Shot down in May.
Welcome back to That's Life, Man, hosted by your favorite couple, Tanner and Chandler Man.
Actually back this week because I'm going to go ahead and start this off and take complete ownership of the fact that my mic was off. And I see over there, my mic is on now. It's working fine. After
halfway through the episode, I was like, is my mic on? And you were like, yeah, we're good.
So what happened was Tanner, I got up to fix something at one point and turned my mic off. I remember it now. And I turned my mic off when I got up.
Just out of habit?
I guess. And so
did you just pick your nose on camera?
I mean,
let's get a zoom in on that.
I did this in my nose position. If that's considered picking, then I guess so.
Some people would consider it picking.
Would they?
Yes.
Well, then I'd be picking my nose all the time. That's the case in public.
That's why your nostrils are so large.
So if your nose itches, what are you supposed to do?
That. Just a little touch. Anyways, we're back. Crazy. We're back, baby. And I can't remember what we said on last week's episode to kind of like recap it.
The bad thing is we felt really good about
I was like, this was a freaking good episode.
What was it about? Z being a three-nager.
Yeah.
What else?
We had gone somewhere. Where did we go? See, I can't even remember yesterday.
These weeks, they just...
Except yesterday, we got back from Arizona. And it was so much fun. So we went on a couples trip, and
these trips are really good to like get to hang out with people and spend time with our friends. But we try to make the most out of the time. So we're always together or like just staying up late or trying to get together early and do things. And so you're just so tired.
Yes. Like I'm exhausted today.
Because you want to, make the most of the time.
Right. Well, because we only do like a 3-day trip with friends that we only see every 6 months.
Yeah.
And so, but it depends on where you're going. So we all live across the country from each other. Like everyone lives in different parts of the country.
Yeah, we went to the West Coast.
We all went to Scottsdale, Arizona, which if you haven't been, it was beautiful. A lot of fun. But from Florida to Scottsdale, Arizona, it is an entire day to get there. Luckily, when you get there, the time has changed backwards.
And it's not even so much that it is far, but our airport just didn't have direct flights. And honestly, Orlando didn't have there were no direct flights.
Yeah.
So I hate connecting. I hate it.
I know you do, but like right now, how uncomfortable I am on a plane, I need that hour break to like stand up and stretch my legs and walk around. But I mean, granted, it would be great to just.
I would rather sit on a plane for 6 hours than do a 2-hour flight with a 1-hour layover and then another 2 hours.
Yeah.
I know that's only 5. I would rather sit for 6 than do that because it's just so annoying to get up, get out, because I can fly for 6 hours and I could have been in LA or I could go wherever. It just takes so much longer.
I mean, it was a full 8-hour travel day there. And that was Friday. We hung out on Saturday.
And our flight was at 5:45.
Yeah.
So just imagine what time you have to get up.
Okay, look at this. As soon as we get home, I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see a girl that I follow post. She had found, I told you I didn't want the neck pillow because I was like, they're so uncomfortable. They push my head forward. Like it's just not even worth it. There's something on Amazon and it's soft, but it's like a hole in the top and then there's holes on the sides and it's like this tall. You put your hands in it and then you can like prop it up and put your face in it to sleep.
Interesting.
For the airplane.
Interesting. You'll have to show me.
But there's different ways you can use it. But I was like, that's freaking genius.
It's not comfortable anyway.
But you know how I was trying to put my head down on the tray, but the tray is so far down and I have some extra squish right now in the middle. So it was like, I could not.
You got some extra life in the middle.
Yeah. So I could not get down there. At one point,
you just can't get comfortable.
At one point on the plane, Chandler was leaning forward and I stuck my face down between his back and the seat to try and sleep a little bit.
I had to like get up on my tiptoes to try to keep my body up.
Oh my
My
gosh.
calves were burning.
I was so uncomfortable. I can't even imagine. So that was at 19 weeks pregnant. Like imagine 7 months pregnant. I'd be like,
Well, they tell you to stop flying when at 8
I think
months?
around like 8
Like
months.
30 days before?
Yeah.
They're just, the planes are so tight.
Yeah. Well, it should be against the freaking law. How much space
Yeah.
are on plane seats? Like,
Well, you go in like a restaurant, there's a maximum occupancy. And you
Yes.
can see it. And it's a pretty big room and it's like 200 people.
yeah.
So there was 36 rows
Yeah.
with 6 people. That's 200 something people, just quick math. In that tiny of a space.
They don't care. They're just trying to sell.
Oh, it's maximizing the money.
Right. They're trying to make as much money as they can.
It's a business.
I mean,
I get it.
I get it too. But at the same time, it's like flights right now are so expensive and you're getting a shit seat. So
Yeah. There were just like no options.
there were no options.
We had to pick flight. And the other thing was we had to pick flights where we could sit together.
Yeah.
Because most of the flights I saw was just middle seats all the way down.
Granted, we waited until the last minute to buy.
It was like a week and a half before.
That's last minute. People plan trips and like buy plane tickets.
We don't plan that
months
way.
in advance.
Yeah, we don't plan that way.
Well, you do.
Yeah, if I'm about to buy tickets for something else. So yeah, you're right. I do. We're playing with the new lighting setup today. So let us know what you think. I broke that other tripod, so we only have a few camera
I
angles
swear
today.
on my life, we'll figure it out.
We'll get there. We're
new to this.
Yeah, we're still doing stuff. So
Anyway, so we went on the trip, and besides like the flight taking forever long and us vowing to never go to the West Coast again,
it'll be a couple years.
it will be a hot minute before we go back to the West Coast.
Because there are states over there I still haven't gone to that I want to.
Yeah.
Like Washington State.
But like when I hear people that like
Montana.
travel back and forth between New York and LA like often, I'm like, how? It's probably they taking a private jet or something.
Still takes forever.
Yeah, but at least you're like comfortable in a private jet. You don't have to wait in the security and like you just get on and you go.
The thing I do like about airplanes is like the one time that I can just sit there for 2 hours
And do nothing.
and not do it and do nothing.
Well, I tried to say that. I was like, okay, let's think about this and put it in perspective instead. Well, everything is perspective. And your entire life is, okay, how can I think about this to make it more enjoyable?
Yeah.
Everything. So I even said that. I was like, okay, how can we make this enjoyable? It's 8 hours of you can watch Netflix, you
Mhm.
can read a book. There's no making sure Z's alive.
Yeah.
There's really no obligation to any outside world. It's you on a
Yeah.
plane, But my thing was I was so uncomfortable.
Sure.
I even said, I was like, if I were comfortable, this wouldn't be
that bad.
bad. Because I could just watch my show and
Yeah.
veg.
Yeah. True.
But my back was just hurting. I always had a large man that I didn't know sitting next to me that I like couldn't move.
Yeah. That's just luck of the draw.
I know.
You get they got to sit by a little tiny girl,
Well,
tiny woman, I should say. But you had to sit by a big man.
a larger man.
You were sandwiched.
And then there was this older man who had to sit behind Chandler. He was like, I don't know, 70.
Yeah. Him and his wife had to split.
And
which was
so in the
crazy.
beginning, when they had to split, I was like, oh, I was so sad. And then Chandler leaned his seat back. It only goes back 2 inches.
2 inches at the most.
And he told the flight attendant, can you ask him to push his seat up? And she was like, very nicely. She was like, no, sir. He's asleep. And it's his right to have his seat
I
back.
think she said he's entitled to
He's
that.
entitled to that. You can push yours back as well if you'd like. And I was like,
Yeah.
boom, got him.
Yeah, but like he didn't say anything to me.
No.
I don't know why he wanted me to move my seat up. Like,
Maybe-
dude, it barely moves.
Maybe he had never flown before.
At 70, no, he had flown. He was dressed up. He had flown for sure.
He was a little cutie,
Mhm.
but I was like, bless him.
Yeah, so we're still a little jet lagged, I think.
Last night I went to bed at 8:30 and I woke up at 7 this morning. So
Yeah, I went to bed a little bit later, but it's just catching back up.
yeah.
However, the good thing about those trips, especially for those of you that have kids and kind of what we want to talk about today a little bit, it's like the opportunity to take a trip like that without your children or child in this case just gives you the chance to like reconnect on a level that you haven't done in a long time.
Well, we needed it.
We needed it. And what I'm trying to say is like, you don't get those opportunities a lot and some people don't at all.
Right.
To go out kidless
Mhm.
and just be able to like you almost get there and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so strange. Like,
Mhm.
are you telling me we're just like laying down tonight? Like,
Yeah, like we're just gonna go to sleep.
we're just going to get a shower and lay down and just eat our own food and that's it.
I know, it's so foreign.
And so to get Tanner and I have, I don't want to say we've been going through a rough patch necessarily, but things
We've-
haven't been on the best terms.
We've definitely like been tense and
Yeah.
not been ourselves, because I always know and can feel when it gets to the point where, well, we're together all the time, but we're always either working or we're playing mom and dad.
It's not always quality time.
No. And so being wife and husband always gets pushed to the back burner,
Yes.
especially because our child sleeps with us.
Yeah.
That's
you're right.
normally when you get to rekindle at the end of the day in a
Mhm.
relationship
And
like,
talk.
and talk about things that aren't work related, have sex, watch a movie, all of the things.
Yeah, we're having to do it in the middle of the day.
Yeah, like our nighttime
We talked about this before.
is not normal. I mean, it is normal. It is not. Let me rewind this, because let me just say that co-sleeping is not normal.
Yeah.
It's way more normal than people talk about.
Yeah.
And it's for a short period of time.
Yeah. I mean, when he turns like 16, I'll probably make him get out of bed.
Like, there are pros and cons.
Yeah,
The cons are that it definitely causes sometimes a little bit of tension in our relationship.
for sure.
But the pros are that we have a very strong bond with Xander.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You said we're together all day and then it's family time. And I said, there's no quality time, but our quality time is our family time.
Mhm.
However, it's the three of us.
Right.
We're giving a lot of our love and focus to Z at that point,
Yes.
not to each other. And so then we will miss sometimes that with each other because we've done it with Z.
Yes. And I love that he gets so much of our love and attention.
Mhm.
But then when I finally come to like a breaking point of like, I know you love me, but my love bucket is empty.
Yeah.
You know, like I know for a fact, I don't doubt that you love me, but there are moments when I'm like, damn, I feel like I haven't had any attention, not to be bratty,
Yeah.
but I'm your
Well,
wife
that's
and like
marriage.
I want
It's-
your attention sometimes. And
Yeah.
it's like between work and we're not the type of people, because we pay someone to watch our child, we're not the type of people to be like, you know what? We don't want to work today. We're going to go on a date
Yeah.
because we feel guilty.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Even though we're paying someone.
Even though we're paying someone, we feel guilty taking off a work day, even though we have a non-conventional job.
Which people put their kids in daycare
Yeah.
and will go do,
Yeah.
or if your kid's in school and you have the day off, you might go on a date or something,
Mhm.
something along those
That's
lines.
definitely like an R problem, like an R.
Well, it's just like, okay, now I have somebody watching my child. I have the time to work, or I have the time to do, I need to take advantage of that.
Yes.
And so it's boom, 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 knock out work. So then at the end
Yes.
of the day, it can be, okay, now we have some time for Z for
Mhm.
2 hours before he goes to bed,
Mhm.
even though we've still kind of been around him all day.
Yeah.
And then it's okay, now he's to bed. Now I have some time for myself,
Yes.
but wait, we didn't have time for each other
Yes.
in a personal setting. We had time for each other in a work setting. And so that's where you talk about marriage is hard,
Mhm.
because sometimes when you finally get to that point that you have time for yourself, you need to sacrifice that time to be together.
But it's like you have to find that balance, because you definitely need time for self-care and to make sure that you are mentally like
Mhm.
having that space that you need.
Yeah.
But also it's like, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So
Yeah.
like you have
You
to
have to
be
have it.
full to be able to give to everyone else.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to give to Xander, give to work, give to you,
And
know.
I think sometimes something I struggle with personally is like, I get this false sense of we've been together all day. We've spent time together.
Yes.
Because we work together. So
Yes.
I like, you get this, although I can recognize right now that that's not the type of time that we need together.
Yeah.
I can still, it's this false sense of, okay, we've been together all day. I'm just going to go do my thing for a little while.
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, technically we've been together all day, but
Mhm.
not in a coworker fashion.
Like literally coworker.
Yeah.
It's not like we're loving all over each other and like
We're getting work done.
We're getting work done. We
Yep.
have a list of what needs to be done, and we're checking things off, and
Yep.
we're going about our day together.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not. And then at the end of the day, it's okay. We got Z down. If we get him down,
If we get him down without falling asleep.
yes. Then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's 9:00. Maybe we can watch a show.
And then we don't watch the same shows.
Yeah, and we hate the same shows, so it's a struggle.
Yeah.
So all of that to say that this weekend was very much needed. And I said this on Saturday or on Sunday. I was like, I feel rekindled. I feel like
yeah.
we got what we needed
Yeah.
together.
And that's the good thing is it shows that that's all it takes
Mhm.
is getting out together
Yeah.
with each other for a while, because you just get into this funk of, and you start to, you sent me something on Instagram the other day that stood out. It was like the things that you need to continue to do in your marriage, even if it doesn't seem like it's important, like Christmas gifts.
Oh, it was like
And-
signs you've gotten too comfortable
Yes.
in your marriage.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Christmas gifts, skipping Christmas gifts, skipping Valentine's Day gifts,
anniversaries,
stuff like that. And when you're just like, oh no, we're not going to do anything this year.
Mhm.
It's like, well, you should, even if it's inconvenient, you should, because it's going to get you in the practice and of doing something for your significant other and being there in a way that's not just friends or parents.
Well, that's the thing, is what separates a friendship from a romantic relationship.
Yeah. Or even like what separates friends with benefits? Because even if you're having sex, like what separates
Yeah.
that from marriage?
And it's those little things. It's having that spark, because there's such a fine line in marriage of being in a romantic relationship to crossing over to being in a roommate situation.
Yes. It's very easy.
Very easy to cross over.
That happens to us.
Happens to everyone. And
Yeah.
so I know it happens to everyone. And every time it happens to us, like I have the conversation. I'm very blunt with you, where I'm like, hey, are we roommates? Like, what's going on?
Mhm.
Because
part of it, and it's just like it's a little bit of a selfish thing. And we talked about it a second ago, where you just want that time for yourself.
Mhm.
But there are times you need to sacrifice that.
That's being in a relationship,
That's
is
exactly what it is.
thinking, you're in love when you're thinking about the other person before yourself.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean that whenever you are selfish that you don't love that person.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you have to think outside the box and
It's finding the balance. And if that means that waking up an hour earlier in the morning to have that time by yourself to make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's sacrificing.
When nobody can mess with you.
Is waking up, because like you go to the gym at 5 a.m. So you kind of have like 5 to 7:30 to yourself, where you usually will listen to podcasts, you work out, that's whenever you're like looking on Zillow for fun, looking, you know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
Like that's
doing the things that aren't necessarily like work productive, but then also not distracting from our time.
Yes. And so I think sometimes that's sacrificing in one way or another.
And I've tried to do it recently a little bit more. I still haven't done a great job of it, but like at certain times of the day, especially after a work day, plugging my phone in the bathroom and leaving it there. It forces you to be present.
Yeah.
Because when was the last time you were bored?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you need to be bored to be able to pay attention to the stuff that's going on around you. Because these things
are the enemy.
There's a big reason why marriages do struggle.
Oh, 100%. I think phones are to blame for, not even phones, just technology. It can be to blame for a lot of issues in life.
Right, but you can't blame technology. You blame the user.
The user, yes.
It's there, but you don't have to do it.
You have to be mindful.
Yeah.
Like we're on our phones all day long. So at 5:30, I'm tired of being on my phone at 5:30. And I was talking about it to the girls this weekend. And that's when engagement is the best, because most everyone else is on their phone at 5:30 to like 9. They're off work. They're at home. They've got their kids down. So I do sacrifice things by not being on my phone in the evenings, because it's better engagement.
Yeah.
Your posts do better.
Better time to connect with the audience.
Yes. It's a better time. Your stuff is seen better. But I post in the middle of the day knowing it's not going to do as well, because in the evenings, that's our time. That's my time.
Yeah. I don't think everybody knows, but like in this line of work, you really have to plan those things out.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like you said, posting at the right time can make a big difference in
Mhm.
how well something does. I just posted
We both posted.
both posted. I just posted a boxing video that I loved.
Mhm.
Like I was like, this is so cool. We've been working on it we filmed the video over a week ago, but we've been working on like how we can use this sound in a reel for the ManFam Fitness page. Me and our videographer Mitch. And so we've been like going back and forth and like this looks good.
Yeah. And
Couple
it is.
revisions. It looks really good. And I posted it in the middle of the day and the engagement was like subpar.
I mean, I texted you. I posted my video. Same thing. It didn't
Yeah.
do well because
Yeah,
nobody's on their phone at 2 p.m.
exactly.
Everyone is at work, picking their kids up from school. Like there's something that they're doing.
But I didn't want to wait and then have to be like, okay, now Z, I know that I've been working all day.
Yes.
And now we're supposed to be eating dinner together, but I got to post this and I got to comment and I got to
Yes.
do all this stuff and I got to answer DMs.
Because also the other problem is that he's here all day, so he sees us working.
Yeah.
You don't want him to see us working all day and all night.
It is nice to be able to see him throughout the day and
Mhm.
like I just kissed him before he took a nap and like stuff like that.
Well, you kept
Yeah.
him from taking a nap.
That's what I heard. I had to, truthfully, I ran in there because I needed to grab something. I didn't realize they were already in there.
From the spare room?
Yeah.
What do you need?
You know how I don't have a chair?
Yeah.
I thought for some reason my safe was in the other. I sit on my safe as a chair. I thought it was in the other room.
Oh, okay.
So I went in there to go get it. And I didn't know he was already down.
Gotcha.
So.
All right. So now that we are rekindled, we're doing great.
We back. Sometimes it just takes a little getaway.
I know.
But not everybody can go and do a weekend away.
I know. I feel really blessed that we were able to take that time. And
I feel for the people that are like, the parents have split working hours and they never have the time to get away and go do anything. That's hard.
And like single parents, like bless them.
Single parents with no help.
Bless them.
Bless them. Yeah.
Because we out here.
Yeah. It's hard enough. The
Having
two of us.
help, but it's like as much as you help and as much as I help, like we pretty much balance things pretty equally. Like, can you imagine not
having to do all that?
Yeah. Like I know my mom was a single mom until well, she was single until I was 8. So my sister's 2 years younger than me, and she told me it was hard as hell. And she was
like 5 years.
Yeah,
probably.
And she said like one night we were brushing both of our teeth. And she was like, every night, same routine. And she's like, she had a thought of, how am I going to do this
every day,
every night for the next however long? And she brought that up because I had said that. Like, I was like, Z was like 1.
Yeah.
And I had a thought process of like, how am I going to do this every night? Like, it gets so
monotonous.
Yes. But that's where we talked about like having the mindset of finding joy in monotony.
Yes. Finding joy in doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah. Because it will end.
Yeah.
And you won't even know the last time that
smoothly or even abruptly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be gone.
You won't even realize the last time that you pick him up or the last time that you help him brush his teeth.
Yeah.
You won't even know it's the last time.
Again, I think we do a good job of slowing down in the moment.
And soaking it in. Yeah, we do.
And soaking it in. And there are times that we're still like, dude, if you don't get in here and brush your teeth right now, I'm going to freak out.
You say the same thing over and over over again.
Xander, come here. Now, hey, come here. Hey, brush your teeth. Did you go potty?
The other day, I was on the verge of tears. Literally, you were gone. You did something. And of course, he shows out.
I was at the strip club.
Yeah. And
yeah, the day shift at the strip club.
I can only imagine how good that is.
It's not that bad. Just kidding.
Anyways, you went out somewhere and he was acting up. And I had said it and said it and said it and said it nicely, said it not nicely. And I was like, I'm going to cry. I can't say this anymore. I am going to literally cry.
The dad voice comes into play. And
he will break you down.
The dad voice is beautiful because being able to just lower the bravado or whatever you call it, just lower it a little bit, get a little gruff, and just get a little bit loud. And usually that does a trick.
Usually.
But sometimes I have to do it and like take a step towards them. And
Yeah, but isn't it like you'll hear me be like, Z, please put that down. Hey, buddy, can you put that down? Hey, Z, maybe we should put that on the ground. Hey, buddy. And then I'm like, Chandler, tell him.
like, Z, put it down. And he's like,
I'm like, seriously, what am
that
I?
happened yesterday.
What am I, a clown?
What was that about yesterday?
I don't know.
He was in the bed. Oh, I think holding a book, and you told him like 5 times, like, all right, we're done reading, put it back. I just sat up and leaned over and I said, put the book down. Put the book down. And he did.
I'm gonna be honest, when you talk to me like that, I do whatever you say too.
Submit. You have to submit.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need to be told what to do a little bit. Like every once in a while.
This is on a recording now. I'm going to save this, and anytime that I need to bring it back up, I will.
You know, because like you're a very patient man. A very patient man. So you will you will put up with it and put up with it. And I will be bitching and all these things. And then you will finally have had enough. And you will tell me, Tanner, that's enough. And I'm like, okay, that's enough. I'm done.
I do have to do that sometimes. That's not super common.
No.
But every once in a while,
It's sexy.
I'm like,
when you get a tone with me, like a low tone, like a serious, like that's enough, like a almost parental.
it's
Do
a
I have
daddy
daddy
issue.
issues?
That's exactly what it is. I was about to say that as a daddy issue. It's exactly what you just described. And now you're blushing.
I am. I'm a little embarrassed because
that's a daddy issue, all right.
Because I will literally like you'll get all like parental on me. You should just tell me I'm gonna spank you.
Well, sometimes people need, they just like, you got to stop. Like, you need to stop because what you're doing is just ridiculous.
Well,
for
sometimes like
people and for yourself.
My anxiety will get going and I get on like a freaking roll and I'm just like, I am my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And then I like need someone to like
snap you out of
to
it.
stop me.
Yeah.
To
Cut
stop.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so whenever you do that, it's sexy.
I'm going to use this. I'm about to just save this video.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Do we have anything else or is that about the gist of it?
No, that's the gist of it, guys. Love your partner. Go and do all the things together. Try to find time to get out with just each other. Don't let your marriage. Well, here's the thing. The candle and the spark will go out.
It's a relationship. You have to work at it.
And it will get snuffed at times. And you got to light it back up. And part of the thing that I think happens is people feel awkward after it goes out. You know, you hear the stories about like, yeah, we used to have sex all the time. Now we haven't had sex in a couple of months. And I just feel weird to try and go and do it again, which I get. I understand. It's been so long. It's like, and you don't want to make an advance and then your person like shut you down because that'd just hurt.
Yeah.
You know, you'd feel stupid and you'd probably get angry after that and it wouldn't get any better.
Yeah.
But you just got to communicate and you got to know when you're in that spot.
Yeah.
You got to know when you're in a place that
and
things aren't going well.
Be prideful and not say something. I really pride myself on when things start getting that way. I am straight up with you. Like, babe, like what is going on? I'm not happy. I'm upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I also am like not afraid to jump back on the horse, literally.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
A lot of times I struggle with saying that, except for like you're saying, whenever it's time that I need to put my foot down and be like, but a lot of times I struggle with it because you say it enough for the both of us.
What does that mean?
They know.
Are you trying to get cussed on this podcast?
Maybe. Makeup sex is pretty nice. Anyways, guys, it has been great talking to you today.
Yeah, let's go ahead and cut things off because I got a bone to pick with you. All right. Thank you guys.
Wild
thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching.
Do we have anything else that we need to tell them? Anything coming up?
We're going to Nashville. Send us your Nashville Rex with a kid. Like kid-friendly things.
Taking Z. So that'll be fun.
Other than that,
can't really think of much else.
Nothing crazy.
No, we're gonna have a new fitness plan coming out in April. We got one more month with our New Year challenge. It's going great. I don't think anything else though.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope you loved it. And
Do we need to say anything about the frequency because we missed last week? Are we going to do another one this week to have 2 come out, or are we just going to skip a week?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
We'll let you know.
TBD.
Yeah,
What
we'll
is
let you know.
TBD?
To be determined.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for listening, and we hope you loved it. And if you didn't,
That's life, man.
see ya.
That's life.